for a breakthrough while living like a breakdown. You keep asking for a better life, but you keep paying the minimum balance on your discipline. Your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. Your future is overdrafting because your habits keep bouncing. Your purpose is charging you interest every single day you refuse to grow. You want freedom, but you don't want structure. You want abundance, but you don't want accountability. You want elevation, but you keep negotiating with the version of you that keeps you broke, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Today, we're not sugarcoating it. Today, we're not babysitting your excuses. Today, we're going straight to the root. So strap in. This might be a bumpy ride before it gets smooth. This is the world premiere Word on the Streets.
Greetings and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, constant confusion, and distraction, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Xtradonaire Moton. And Mr. Gotta Get Your Mind Right and Open Your Eyes to the Blind Truth, the motivator himself, the amazing Keith Fletcher. And the man who brings clarity to chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere, Word on the Streets.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, y'all. Good evening. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. Friends, we understand and realize that this week is a very challenging week for so many of you all out there, including us, friends. We have high school graduation going on everywhere. And on top of that, friends, as you all know, as the world know, this weekend we celebrate all the wonderful, loving mothers out there in the world. A very lovely and happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. That's right, this weekend, this Sunday coming is Mother's Day. And with all of that going on, you have us here who are dedicated to the cause, dedicated to the mission, dedicated to be here with you. And let me tell you something, friends. Our plates are full. Our plates are very full. And tonight's night is a sacrifice from all three of us. So we appreciate you all tuning in, but we appreciate each other for showing up. With that being said, friends, y'all know how we do it. But in case if this is your first time, let me just tell you a little bit about all three. And they could come in, they might tell you some more about themselves. But from meeting these gentlemen, we have a man who beat stage 4 cancer. This man also is a content creator, has his own YouTube channel, call it The Blind Truth. But if that's not enough, you could catch him on Facebook 2 and 3 times a week. The man is also a retired veteran, owner of 3 Airbnb. The man who is relentless and always high spirit and motivational. When he meets you, he loves you. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher.
Good evening, good evening.
That's right, my brother. And this man here, y'all, he may be dragging coming in right now, but before he leave, he'll have wings on his back. This man just got off from work, just got off the interstate, working in the corporate world, just dealing with, you already know what we deal with on the job. I don't have to tell anybody you out there. You know all the bump and grind that goes on the job. But none of that stops him. He brings reasons to chaos, understanding, peace, always elevating for that higher place in life. And even when he's off, during the summer months, instead of kicking back on the beach, this man is mentoring young people, showing young men, young black men, Hispanic young men, the right way to go. Because we know, friends, we've been young before, and we know it's so easy to choose the wrong way unless we had somebody who really care enough to sacrifice and dedicate their time. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. That's what we got for y'all tonight, dude. That's what we got for y'all tonight. And I am extraordinary. You can catch me on Personal Development for the Soul. It's my YouTube channel. I would love it if you check me out, friends. I got a playlist over there that I guarantee will make you think and to make you get in contact with that voice on the inside, which is your soul. But we're not going to delay you all, friends. We're going to jump right into our topics for tonight because we know you're busy like we're busy. Now, if y'all been kicking it with us for a minute, y'all know what we talk about on this platform. And tonight, friends, we're going to cover these topics here. Your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. Your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. And I made a note, brothers, just to kick it off. I said, your poor habits keep bouncing like a bad check. We got some habits, and we wonder why, Fletcher. I know that's your thing, man. You're a money man. Vincent and Fletcher both, those are money brothers. They some money brothers. And so, but we all can identify with making some checks that just wouldn't cash. So we're gonna open the door because I've been yapping and talking too much on this intro. Somebody grab me an umbrella so I can get out of the rain and talk to me and to our community.
Well, I started, man. You know, let's talk about my journey. You talk about money and learning better ways how to handle money, learning better ways how to get ahead. Learning better ways to get budget. But we always talk about money. People think I'm always talking about money, talk about how much money I can get, what I do with the money, and all this stuff, and where to place money. Those are strategies. Yes, we talk about strategy, what money is used for, and all that. But all that means nothing. Me and Extraordinary, I look at like personal development. Nothing that means nothing if you don't have no discipline. It don't mean anything if you haven't learned how to be responsible. It don't have anything to do if you haven't learned how to be consistent with your strategy. Consistent, doing setting up your goals, reaching for your goals, doing these things daily, helping yourself do that. So when you said when you're in debt, because the things you do, that debt cause you to, it's something called bad debt. You got good debt and bad debt. But when you're in debt on that bad scale, because of your discipline, because of your inconsistency, because of your irresponsibility, that's how you get yourself in debt because of your decisions.
Gotcha. I'll,
That's right,
I'll
brother.
go off of. I know we talked about money a lot, but I think for me, I look at the older I get, I can't take my money with me when I die. So for me, I'm looking at time as a new currency. Like for me, it's about the time. It isn't about the money anymore. I'll have what I have. Whatever the good Lord has for me, nothing is going to stop, with the exception of myself. Uh, I had to reach a point in my life where I had to stop using excuses of my old man wasn't there. I was raised by a woman. I was this, I was that. At some point, I just had to look myself in the mirror and just like, hey, it's just excuses sound best to those that make them. Let me repeat that again. Excuses sound best to those that make them. So I had to get out of my own way, and I had to accept reality of what was and what wasn't. And I chose to no longer use that as an excuse. A lot of us will use the excuse of, oh, I was this situation or that situation, and again, we lie to ourselves more than anyone. I can make myself believe something that y'all may say, hey, we may be looking at the same black piece of paper, but I'll tell you that paper's white, right? I've known people that are able to lie so good to where they start to believe it. Uh, I did have a question for you, Extraordinaire. I was writing it down as I was reading the blog. Uh, what is it that made you choose this topic, and why this topic, and how did you come about this one?
Thank you for the question. Because so many people think that money is their solution. So many people have this idea, if I just had enough money, then my problems would go away. And I find that the world we live in today, it focus so much on the things that we don't have. And that sort of like was the seed that planted this topic. And I made note. I said that money doesn't fix discipline, but discipline fix money. And the second follow up to that is to say this key word. And you all know I've been pondering on this word for quite some time on this platform. Is discipline. Old fashioned words that we really don't want to embrace and entangle with. Those words are so necessary for the transformation in our life. It's just no way of getting around or living a fulfilled life, a successful life, or what we deem as successful is getting things that we truly want. It's going to require us being disciplined. And discipline is different for each and every one of us, but discipline is intuitively inside yourself. What is it that will fulfill you? And it won't be the things outside of you. And the things outside of us in America, everybody know is the money. Because with the money, and I don't want to go too long, Vince, but with the money, then we think we could get everything else. We could get the car, we could get the exotic lady, we could get the fine home. We could get all those things. But if you're not fixed on the inside, see, any of those things on the outside still won't fix that thing on the inside. And the thing on the inside is going to require, and this is what we talk about all the time on this platform, that discipline, and that's being able, willing to do the work on yourself on the inside. And doing that inner work is nothing that people can see with their vision. That inner work is not the thing that you can boot shine and talk about. It's quiet work. It also challenging work because we all know what screws are loose within us. We all know what needs tightening up a little more, what needs letting loose a little more. We all know these inner things inside of us, thoughts that we overthink that are not healthy for us, things that we don't massage enough to make it stronger than it once was. Things, I mean, so many things that we don't do on the inside of us, but yet we keep reaching for that apple outside of us,
Yeah.
that apple being the dollar, because that's the world outside of us told us that's what it needs to be for. Get this job, even though you don't even like doing that. Get this job because it pays X amount of dollar. And you hate doing that, but it pays X amount of dollar. I don't want to go too long, but that was the premise of selecting this topic.
Gotcha. Nah, thanks for answering that because I always like to ask, and I never really ask you, but I felt like the spirit moved me to say what made you really choose this specific topic. So it was good to just get how you select those. Uh, I know for me, man, I know a lot of people that have money and they miserable as hell.
Say that
Like
again, man. Wait. That's just
I know a lot of people that have money, a nice substantial amount of money, but they're miserable as hell. It's almost like some of them had to sell their soul to the devil just to get what they needed to get to, right? So what I sometimes like to think, what did they compromise in order to get that? Did they compromise family time? Did they compromise their presence in the house? Like those are the things that I think about, right? Because a lot of people put money at the top, right? There's a song, money, 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 money. Like we all know how it goes, right?
right.
There's nothing wrong with money. Like we always talk
Absolutely
about
not.
it. I think the thing that we always, the three of us can always agree, different people look at it differently, right? To me, money is an avenue. It's a tool. It's no different than anything else. If you I know we talked about the internet and technology. If you misuse it, yes, it could be bad, right? To me, when you get to a certain level, it gets you to places that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. It gives you access, right? So I think I look at it like that from a tool. And this is me personally, because I stand very firm on understanding that I can't take this with me. As much as I want for my kids to be blessed with certain things. I have a philanthropic mindset. I like to bless people in private. I like to pay for meals. I like to pay it forward. For me, it's about blessing others because it doesn't belong to me anyway. Yeah, I work for it, but at the end of the day, if I'm not, as we talked about, obedient, then what is it for? Then again, this is just my mindset, right? If I'm not in a position to help others, then what is it for? First generation makes it, second generation manages it, third generation blows a hole in it
Right,
if
right.
they're not taught fundamentals of being financially literate. Like you can go back to history. Yeah, thank you. You can go back from historical and see how the pattern is. Like success leaves clues. So I think about it a lot. For me, I'm like I had to really move out of my own way because I'm thinking I'm trying to create this generational wealth, but then sometimes I feel like the next generation doesn't even care about it, right? So it's like, why should I work so hard to give my money to somebody else when they're not even appreciative of it? And again, to each his or her own, right? I'm not saying anything in a negative, but this is just my story of at some point, I've given you the blueprint, I've shown you how to make it. Some people appreciate it more when they got to earn it because I know the three of us, nothing was given to us. We all earned something on this stage. And I can guarantee you, we all appreciate it more because of the work ethic that we had to get to it. People appreciate stuff more when they put the discipline and the obedience and the planning into place. We've enabled people for so long buying them this, buying them that, putting them in this. Work for it, dog. Work for it. Back to y'all.
It's real good. What say you, Fletcher?
I disagree. I disagree. Because don't your good book say you're supposed to leave something for your children, children, children? I mean, it didn't say because they don't want to listen, they're going to have attitude, they're going to blow it. You don't get no examples of that. It said you're supposed to leave something to your children, children, children. It's also say that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
That is.
Someone is saying discipline got you where you at now. When you blew that money the first time, you got that credit card messed up the second time. When you got that car that you shouldn't bought, you was irresponsible, lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
lack of discipline. You didn't understand what money was used for. You know what to use money, but you didn't understand what money was used for in this system. So money was used. We use money for the wrong thing.
Yes.
So to know what money is used for, because right now you go to work. If you use your money that you don't have to go to work, you can use your money that you ain't got. You can create something that you don't have to go to work. You can create something that your kids can come work for you. You can create something that your wife don't have to work no more. All that
Mm,
costs money.
right.
That costs money to use it the right way. But it starts with discipline,
That's right.
commitment. It starts with consistency. It starts with all these foundations. It starts with principles. It starts with all those things first. And then when you start teaching those things, then after that, that foundation is set, then you teach the system. This is a system. That money is nothing but paper. It's just the tissue that you use in the bathroom. It ain't about the money. It's about the system. And that's what we got to get away from, saying that money ain't this and that. No, it's the system that we in. Because it's more than just money's gold, it's all these things. And the most high created gold. But it's the system what we use this money for. Nothing's wrong with money. Especially in our community, our black community, we need to understand we just don't know what we use the money for, the right way to be used. That's the problem right there. And if I leave something to my children, I got to teach them the way money is supposed to be used. And I think we don't do that. My opinion, we don't teach them the way the money is supposed to be used the right way. The way people have sit. I did a study. I mean, they had a study on TV that 81% of people do not want to talk about money in their own home, in their own family, at their own table. But we talk about the Most High. We talk about that. We talk about spiritual. We talk about spirit. We talk about losing weight. We talk about all these things. But we don't want to talk about money because giving it away. I say you want to give it away. You want to give it away. How you gonna give something to somebody that don't know how to use it? You gonna give your blessings away to somebody else to blow that could kill them. You give somebody a credit card. And I tell my kids that this is a loaded gun. This card is a loaded gun. It's right. It's a tool. A gun can be used in safety. This you got to have safe. You got your safety on. So when you're saying these things, when we talk about now how we flip it from money, we're not really talking about money. We're talking about your personal development,
That's right.
education about money, the discipline. It's going to take discipline, goals, principles to get you to these things. Because there's going to be days that you're going to be laid off. Like people get laid off now. How do you recover from that? You supposed to have some money put aside. You supposed to have some. You supposed to be responsible to say, "Hey, I can't go spend all my here. I got to do this." If you're responsible and disciplined and deliberate, you will be able to do those things. That have nothing to do with money. That have something to do with you. And that's why we're in a personal development. We try to be personal and get the development in up, get this
That's
foundation.
right.
And then
That's right.
once that come, then the money will come. That's what people think I'm always talking about money. I'm not talking about
Y-
money.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Telling you how
It's much. Yeah. It's much deeper than the money.
it's much deeper than that.
Much deeper
So
than the money.
on there, when I took it as I saw this list, and I'm not going long, that's what I was thinking about. It wasn't about the money part. I was thinking about the debt,
Exactly.
what it can cost you. Because
Exactly.
I done lost it. And I'm not saying I done lost everything before. I done been laying on the sofa with nothing, and I had moves. I had two moves. The first move I made that was right, that I had to go get a job. But along the way, I didn't know the second move to get I didn't know the other moves that I could have made. I didn't know the moves that I could have made with my money. I didn't understand the system that I was in. And to understand the system that I'm in is understand what to use this money for. That's what it is. So that's what me.
And let me stack on top of that, and brothers, y'all jump in too. I want this is a message that I heard from Eric Thomas some time ago, not that far back. But I mentioned in my monologue and answering your question, Vincent, about why and how I chose this topic, what drove me to this. And I mentioned something about the workforce. Now I'm gonna say this, and I guarantee you, unless people are just gonna be totally dishonest. And brothers, I need y'all feedback on this too. How many times in your life have you took a job because of the money?
Plenty times I have.
That's right. So have I.
I'll try to survive. Yeah.
That's right. So have I. And Eric Thomas said that is I'm paraphrasing, but he's saying no wonder you're stressed out. Many of us accepting job and doing job not because that's who we are, that inner person inside, not because we like it, not because we want to do it, but we doing it for the money. And when you're doing it for the money, if it's not if it doesn't if it's not who you are on the inside, it's probably going to be kind of miserable for you at some point in time. People are going to irritate you a lot faster because then it's going to be called that word that starts with a W. It's going to be work. So you're going to be going somewhere to work for the next 10, 12, 14 hours of something you hate to do for exchange for that paycheck. This is the misunderstanding that we have flipped on a dime about living our life. So many of us, we get so drowned in debt till we have to start making decisions based on the money. And in return, making decisions based on something outside of you, the money. So you're going to confine yourself for the next 12 hours of your life on that job, doing something you hate doing, working with people you really prefer not to work with, because we've been programmed to think this is how this is how it's done. Whereby if we took time to do that inner work, we can make money in anything you really love to do.
Anything.
What is it? What is it that you see? We've been taught, Vincent and Fletcher, not to risk on what we might like to do. But instead, I got to buy in your risk. See, that's your risk outside of me. I'm gonna go sign up for that because you say you're gonna pay me X amount of dollars. So rather than do the work on me, do the investment in myself, I'm gonna go work for you. I don't know. Am I making sense? Am I connecting any dots out there? Talk to me some
Yeah,
more.
I feel like you are, but I need to say two things. First, I get back on the when I was given my merit reviews for my teams. You know how you hand out the raises and you hand out the little form or sheets and said, "This is the percentage that you got." And then when it came time for me to get mine, I generally told my manager, "I'm serious about this. I said, I don't do this job for the money. I said I can get a job anywhere." That's just. I told him whether he's a Christian or not. I don't know whether he's a man of faith, but I said, I'm here for a reason. I've been placed here for a reason with the results that I've been given. I'm here to motivate. I'm here to build people up. I'm here to build people to do my job and better. I said, I like pouring into people. I like to see them grow. I do want to step back. I know Keith said something about the Bible does talk about leaving an inheritance for your children, but it doesn't talk about a monetary and money. It talks about a spiritual inheritance because with that, you can lead to greed and obsession. As I'm reading here, it says it does not speak of a spiritual, of a physical inheritance, but a spiritual inheritance. So when I hear Keith, he says not about it. It is about the money in a sense. I think you pretty much said the same thing I said, Keith, when I said the first and the second and the third. First one, first generation earns it. Second manages it. Third blows a hole in it if they're not financially literate. You basically said the same thing that I said, but you said it in a different context, right? Because it is the values and the lessons that we have to teach our children. We got to be careful when we're saying certain things because I don't want to mislead people in a sense of, and again, everyone has a different view. But my view is when the Bible states about leaving an inheritance, it does not talk about money because you can't take the money with you. It talks about things from a heavenly standpoint and a spiritually standpoint that you can take with you because we're not of this earth. So for me, when we get on that, I take that, I have to correct people when there's
You can't correct me.
when I have to show people a different way because the Bible is not talking about financial gain and money when it talks about an inheritance. An inheritance can be wisdom. An inheritance can be the knowledge. That's what we pass
And,
on. Because again, when we die, we come into this earth solo and we leave solo with nothing on our back. It's not about the money.
and the wisdom and the knowledge is all part of that
Mhm.
And then
umbrella.
that umbrella, be fruitful, do multiply, have dominion. The talents, let me go to the talents. That's another thing. We can talk about the talents too. Why would I want my child to have poverty? I done taught him all this knowledge. I done give him all this wisdom. Why? If God told you have dominion on this earth, the earth is the fullness, everything is great in this earth. It got gold, all these resources in earth. The Father left us. He gave us all these things on this earth. And I'm supposed to leave my child, my generation with nothing. I'm supposed to be thinking about going to a place and not leave my children, my generation that's got to fight something, because the fight for them to start out there, not to leave them nothing but some knowledge.
So you talking about money, or are you talking about the
I'm
knowledge
talking
and
about
the wisdom?
everything. I'm talking about money too. I'm talking about. So you said to give
It's
them.
not my job to leave my kids any money.
Let me
I
finish.
think
I've raised my children for 18
Let me
years.
finish. Let me
Yeah,
finish.
yeah.
Let me finish. When I leave there, like I said, it's my to leave them something. I done lived here. I can't take it with me. I'm gonna leave it to the government. I'm gonna leave it to the dirt. I'm just gonna leave
But
something.
you're
Okay?
still talking about material,
I am
Keith.
talking. I'm not talking
It's
about
a
no.
material.
Listen
There's
to what I'm
there's the
saying. That's what I'm
there's
telling you. I keep trying to finish. That's what I'm talking about. You said your spiritual way. I'm saying both ways. I can do two things at once.
Mhm.
I don't. I can leave them both. I can leave
True,
them both. If you
true.
when you have a church, you go to church. You leave tithes to the church. You got a building fund. They ain't telling you to turn away. No, we don't want that from you. We don't want that. You give your tithes to the church. They take their money and build it in the church and build. They don't just give it to other people. They put it into the building. They put it into the pastor. They put it into other things. So now you telling me that my wisdom, all my greatness, I give to them. I give it. My spirit, I tell them who the Most High and all that. Why wouldn't I leave them something to start off with? Why wouldn't I leave them some land when I know how hard it is to get some land? Why wouldn't I leave? When I've been on this earth 80 years, and they just start and don't have nothing. And I don't leave something from them to say, hey, here you go, good steward. Hey, you took in there all these years and you raised them. Here's something for you. Why wouldn't I do that? I'm
It's
just
a it's a it's a choice, right? So it's like for me, there's nothing biblically stating saying that I have to leave anybody anything. You've seen fences, right?
the Most High. The Most High gave Abraham a promise.
Oh yes, I've seen fences.
So you saw the part where
I heard what
Israel
the
was talking
father
to
said.
his son, right?
I heard what the father told his
And he
son.
said, you raised them. I don't have to like you. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. So I'm supposed to go further than that, right? Anything that we give to our children is a
Yes,
bonus. It's
yes,
a
you are.
bonus
No,
because
it's
we
not.
want to. It's not because we have to, or it's our God-given duty to do that. To me, this comes with the mindset of, A, did you teach your kids how to do this? Okay.
But
Did
you
our
know
parents
what?
hold up,
Now,
hold up, hold
Let him
up,
finish that.
hold up. Did our parents provide and leave us? What do you tell a person, Keith, that comes from poverty and all his parents have to give them is the knowledge. Knowledge is power. So
That's
if
right.
I'm hearing this and I'm saying, okay, if you're telling me that a person that's born in poverty, they're just because they don't have anything to get, they're supposed to give the little that they have. The most important thing is the knowledge and the discipline and the rules that they've taught and grounded and the foundation. And again, to me, and I'm not arguing with you, Keith. I'm just saying we both could be right, right? It's a
yeah, y'all
choice
both
of
are. Y'all
yeah,
both are right. Y'all both
yeah.
saying pretty
It's a
similar,
choice.
similar
It's a
things.
choice if a person wants to do that, but I don't want people to feel like if they're not doing that for their children, they're gonna be looked upon as, oh, you ever heard how Shaq and Steve Harvey have said, look, my kids gotta earn this. I'm not giving them anything. You
I'm
got people
sorry.
that's
When Shaq and Steve Harvey passed,
hold up, hold
you
up,
can
hold
think
up,
what they getting
hold
their
up.
stuff. They getting their stuff when they pass. They getting that when they pass.
All I'm saying is for me, when my time comes, there'll be stipulations because I'm not just going to hand anything out. Everything is within a trust and the thing is outlined because I feel like when you know things in the sense of how your children are, You just gonna give them a certain such amount of money. You have stipulations and guidelines put in place, but that still comes with the knowledge and what y'all said, discipline and obedience, which goes back to the 1, 2, and the 3 of
Right.
first generation earns it, manages it. Somebody got to teach them. If they're not taught how to do anything, it's gonna go in the wind anyway. Then what?
Who taught you?
Huh?
Who taught you?
Who taught me?
Yeah, that's a question. Who you came from a single mother in finance? Who taught you?
My mom didn't teach me. Her
Exactly.
actions.
Your mama didn't teach you.
I watched.
Exactly.
I watched.
So you
My
just
mom
said,
didn't have conversations with me about
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
And I've shared that. Like there are some people that like to share. Like we're doing it different. We're giving them the blueprint.
Exactly.
Sometimes, but what I'm saying is,
Doing something different.
but we're giving them the blueprint. We're not saying I'm going to hand you this money. We're showing you what to do with it when you get it.
I get.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I don't think any of us advocating just handing them without teaching. That's what we do. We teach our family as we. That's our intent is to
Yeah.
teach.
Yeah. But I feel if I'm gone, it doesn't matter what they do. I did my job. I built something and I left them something. Now they can destroy it all they want. I'm dead. I don't know. I'm in a whole nother place. It doesn't matter. I mean, me and my brother were talking about that. We got 2 houses. He said, "Well, man, if something happened to me, well, who gonna do this?" And I said, "Look, man, if something happened to me, I'm dead. You got to deal with my kids. My wife gonna take that. Y'all got to deal with that. I'm dead. I can't take that with me. I can't worry about that. Go do the next thing. You know what's right to do and not to do."
If my kids are waiting on something, waiting on us to pass away to profit, then I've actually raised them wrong.
I don't think nobody. See, that's what I'm saying. Who we be waiting on something to profit?
There's a lot.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Why?
So they can get the money.
Well,
Come on, man. Let's be real, Keith.
What I said,
There's a lot of people waiting out there for their
I don't
parents
know
to get
what
over.
I can't do with a lot of people. I'm saying.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's reality.
No, that's not reality. Because that's not reality. Because my dad,
It's not happening out there right now.
some of that is happening.
My mother's about to leave me and my brother something. She's gonna leave us something. She's gonna leave us a house, land, money. She's gonna leave us something. We're not sitting there hoping that she go. We're not waiting there.
I'm not saying you, Keith. I'm just saying there are people out there that are literally waiting on their parents to pass away so they can inherit.
Again, they didn't raise them right. They're like we talk about. That's personal development. That don't have nothing to do with money.
Is it they didn't raise them right, or they?
Yeah, they didn't raise them right. No,
people have a choice.
Huh?
People have a choice.
But they gotta be dealing. Wait a minute.
It has nothing to do with the upbringing.
So if
sometimes it does.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
In the Bible, Joseph had how many sons? 12 sons, right?
Who?
He had 12 in the Bible. Joseph, he had 12 sons. 12 Israelites. He had 12 sons, right? Each one, 12 Israelites. He had 12 sons. All of them got left something. All 12 of them got left something. They were no good people. He left them something. All of them made mistakes. He laid on his dying bed telling them the mistakes he made, but he still left them something. I'm saying people gonna do things. People go through stuff. When I went through something, I made mistakes. I went through something. If I'd have had something to help me through that,
Right.
it would have made it easier on me. Nothing's wrong with that saying, "Hey, here you go and help me get up." Hey, not like when I got it together. Hey, you can go to college. I got this money that's been sitting here. Now I can go to college. Now I can start this. I'm saying these are things that we saying, why is something wrong with that? If I taught him something, just say you did teach it right. Just say he was doing everything, but he made a mistake and fell short. And that could be the thing that you left him can help him overcome those things. That's what I'm saying. It's not about the money. It's about when you leave something to someone, it's the knowledge and leaving something to him. My father thought of me about this.
You just said it, Keith. I just said it's the knowledge, but you're saying that it's not the knowledge.
But you said just leave the knowledge. It's not just leaving the knowledge. It's not just leaving the knowledge. It's not just leaving the knowledge.
I said if you don't have money, what about the knowledge that I've given you the knowledge? I've given you the blueprint. Some people come from nothing to have nothing to give but the knowledge. That's
like
all
what
to give.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Okay, what knowledge can they give? Let's say since you saying the knowledge, what knowledge can they give?
So basically, you're telling me a poor person doesn't have
Right.
knowledge on how.
No, you're right. I hear that.
I'm asking a question. I didn't say nothing. I say what
It
knowledge?
sounds like that.
No, I'm asking a question. You asked the question. They sound like nothing. I asked this, what knowledge you saying they can give. I asked the question. That's what I'm
I'm
saying. When
not.
you say they're gonna
I'm
give me
not
knowledge,
understanding your
they don't
question.
what
So you're
knowledge.
telling me a person that doesn't have money can't give knowledge?
I'm asking you what knowledge is the person. I didn't say that. I keep asking you. I'm gonna say the question again. What knowledge can they give me?
So you
I
again,
didn't
you're
leave the money out of it.
a
You didn't
person that
say,
does not have money can still give you some knowledge on how to keep it. There's something to be learned
no, you
from
can't.
a biblical
No, you can't.
aspect. It
No, you can't.
says,
No, you can't. No, you can't.
yes, you can.
If you're in poverty, you talking about money now. If you're in poverty, you cannot teach me how to get some money, how to live. No, you can't. And what the money is used for. No, you can't, because you didn't do it. No, you
Okay,
can't.
so let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Did your grandparents come from money?
Nope. My grandfather,
Were,
nope.
were they poor?
Nope. My grandfather had a house. He built a house. His house burned down. When his house had, and Xtradonaire can say that. He had a house that burnt down and built another house. He had land too. And he was a blind man. He was a curious man. He took care. He was a saver. He taught how to save and all that. No, he was not poor.
I
He, he,
just feel
he
like
had,
on
he had,
this one, Keith.
he had hold up. He had
Yeah.
11 kids. He couldn't
hmm
have been poor. He had
hmm
11 kids. He had 11 kids and he had
Some
land.
people are poor and don't even know it because they live as though they're not. So they still are able to share knowledge and some nuggets to pass on to the next generation. Just because
About
they
money,
don't,
we said about money.
just because they don't have money in their bank account. This is where I have to argue with you on that. Just because someone doesn't have money in their bank account doesn't mean that they can't tell you how to get it.
So why they don't have money in their bank account?
It could be circumstances. They could have gambled it away. They could have done anything.
So they
All
can
I'm
tell
saying
you what
is,
not to do. They can tell you. They can't tell you how to get money. They can tell you, hey, I made these
I
mistakes.
said that they can tell you
So
what to do and not to do.
they can
Like
tell you what
it
not. They can
says,
tell you what to do. They can tell you what not to do. That's what
yeah,
they can tell you what not to do.
it says you can learn two things from people. Things not. What's the old saying? Even a fool sounds smart until he or she opens their mouth. Right?
What do that mean?
You figure
Explain
it out.
to what that means.
In case anyone is tuning in for the first time, our
So
subject
now,
matter tonight, our
go ahead.
subject matter is your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. And as you all can tell, we're very passionate about this thing. And we're having a pretty serious debate here about real life situation.
Mm-hmm. It
And
just
if
let's run there. It's just like what David Dash was saying to these guys about you can't give your son a job. Somebody that's sitting there working, telling them going to work every day, saying, "I don't want a paycheck. I can do this for free," because that's all you know is to do that for free. If you don't know anything else to say, I had my own business, I can work for myself. I got to take care of myself.
unless you see it another way, see it a
If,
different.
if you see one thing one way, that's what I'm telling you. You see something one way. So you went to that other side and understand that other side, and baby, be in a situation. That's the one way you see it. That's what I'm saying to you. So me saying I love working at my last job I did. I love working at that job. But I love being at home with my kids that I don't have to work at that job. I don't have to go and clock in no one. I don't have to go. I can make money on my own. My wife don't have to work. I retire my wife. She don't have to work because I learned another way. So a person that's in poverty that know one way, understand that way when they got so many other ways. I'm not saying
No,
it
no,
got
no.
other many ways. You can tell me poverty, like you said, you can tell me something. They can give me a foundation, principles. This my grandfather gave us that. He gave us that. He told me how to save. Don't spend all your money. What shoes, how to manage your stuff. But it's another way he could not tell me. Another thing he couldn't tell me. Technology changed. Things change. You can
We're
tell somebody something. How you
we're
think
blinded. We're blinded by the many opportunities
if we
that's
are
out
it's
there.
opportunities all around and we're not aware of that. So that person in poverty wasn't aware of some opportunities.
What does poverty mean? What? All right, do me this favor.
That's good.
Define poverty, because a lot of people could be poverty with wisdom, poverty with finance, poverty with love.
You said money. We didn't ever say, when we were
No,
talking,
no, no, no. What I'm saying
hold
is,
on, wait a minute. First, you
yeah,
said you moving the goalpost. You were
No,
saying
I'm asking
about,
you to
hold
define
on, wait a
poverty.
minute. You were talking about money. You can't put them all together. You were saying about money first. So now we can go in love. Yes, somebody that's poor can show you plenty of love. Yes, somebody can do that, show you plenty of love. That's different. That encourage. That ain't no system. Yes, they can show me that. They sure can show me that. Somebody probably. I agree with you. What you were saying about somebody that's in poverty, they can tell me how to do what they in poverty. Tell me about money and tell me how to use money. If that's true, why didn't you do it? If you in poverty, if you've been there with money, so like you say that already. You say success leaves clues. So if you've been successful, which is true, you know the blueprint to get back there. But if you never been there, how you gonna be successful now? Tell me.
What if they were poverty because of they had bad luck and they lost their money? Let's just say stock
I had
market.
all that. I had bad
Or,
luck and all that. I did. I was
but
sleeping on my mama.
again, poverty doesn't mean that you have to stay there. Poverty could comes in ebbs and flows of your life because people may have had certain things that happen that put them in a situation, right, to where they may have had a lot of money, blown it, right? Now they're in a poverty state, but then they may be able to get back out of it. This is where I say, just because an individual is in poverty, we don't know A, how they got there, B, we don't know how long they've been there. So that's why I said we have to be careful about saying, well, a person in poverty can't teach me anything, because there could be some other layers to that onion that we just don't see the skin of it. Hold
I
up.
didn't say people can't teach you anything. See, that what I'm sorry, I got to cut
You
you off.
said poverty. You
I
said what
said
can a
money.
you said what can a poverty person teach you,
I
right?
said turn it to money. I keep telling you that, and you keep want to push this stuff because you scared to talk about money.
No, I'm not.
That's what's going
No,
on. See, we talking.
The
You
book
said about money. I did not say anything
again,
about a
I'm not
person.
talking about love. I'm not talking. What I'm saying, Keith, is if a person is if we want to get back to the
this
money and the discipline and the obedience, there could be a situation where, let's just say, the great crash, someone may have had a lot of money and now they're in a poverty state because of they lost everything. That's when I say sometimes the individual is in that situation right now, like a season of their life. They may be in a poverty set. This is why I said they can still tell us something, right? Because what if we don't know their story? Like sometimes this is where we got to dig deep and find a person's story.
as you all can see, this topic is very passionate, very hot, and both schools of thoughts are very interesting and very good. I love both schools of thought, and they both are giving us some information that we need to chew on and think about on, friends. We're going to take a small break. And while you're out there, friends, if this is your first time, please subscribe, hit like, leave us a comment, let us know your point of view. Both schools of thought is one thing that they are doing, elevating your thoughts, elevating the way that you look, elevating you to help you think. Am I being fair to myself? Am I working enough on myself? Am I preparing for my afterlife and for the people I say I love most? What are you doing out there, world premiere, Word on the Street community? We're going to take a small break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave, and stay tuned and stay with us. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it, because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere Word on the Streets.
Let me talk to the person who's tired of being tired. The person who's sick of watching life move while they stay stuck. The person who keeps saying, I know what I need to do, but never pays the discipline it costs to do it. Hear me. Your life is not waiting on a miracle. It's waiting on a decision. You keep blaming money, but it's not money. You keep blaming time, but it's not time. You keep blaming people, but it's not people. It's the debt you owe to yourself, the debt of consistency, the debt of self-respect, the debt of boundaries, the debt of delayed gratification. You want a better life, but you keep financing your future with yesterday's habits. You want peace, but you keep making payments to chaos. You want growth, but you keep investing in comfort. Let me make it plain. Discipline is not punishment. It's protection. It protects your vision from your impulses. It protects your future from your feelings. It protects your purpose from your patterns. And until you pay what you owe, not to the bank, not to the bills, not to the world, but to your becoming, you will always feel like you're living behind on life. But the moment you decide, I'm done living on emotional credit, I'm paying in full with discipline, everything shifts. Your confidence shifts. Your money shifts. Your relationships shift. Your opportunities shift. Your entire identity shifts. Because discipline is the down payment on the life you keep dreaming about. And today, right now, this moment, you get to decide whether you stay in debt or you step into destiny.
All right, family, keep those comments coming as we get ready to lock back in to Your Life is in Debt because your discipline is in debt. Stay with us. We're about to go even deeper.
Your life is in debt. Maybe your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. And while we at it, friends, we're having a very passionate discussion, friends. We not only talked about our life being in debt and how to fix that, and that we ought to fix that, but what about the kids? What about our children? What about our grandkids? Are we setting them up? Are we looking down the road? Are we preparing them? Are we teaching them the right way to go? You know, a lot of time we like to quote scriptures and put that out there. Well, there's one that I remember growing up as a child, and I used to hear it my entire childhood life. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he get older, he would not depart. Now, don't misread that. It almost sounds like a riddle to me because I have seen people live totally opposite than the way they was brought up. But here's the thing, friends, that what the picture you saw, the image you saw, the moment you saw were just chapters of some people's lives. See, we all have phases. We all have different chapters in our life. And some part of my life, I promise you, you saw a part that didn't resemble anything like that verse I just recited to you. I have a lot of parts in my life that doesn't resemble anything than the way I was brought up. But full circle now, I understand and realize that that verse and many verses that we read, see, this is self-application. And so often we're living in a world, this is my stick right here, is working on that self-application. It's called personal development. If you don't work on your self-discipline, uh, all those words that we really like to run away from because they're not easy fix kind of word. Consistency, being uncomfortable, doing the work. And that is what personal development require of us. No money gonna fix that. No money gonna fix that. But if you did those things, you will get the money. You will acquire the money. And money can do a lot of things, especially when you got the head knowledge to go with the money. And then now you got knowledge, you got money, you got power. And you can assimilate that to the people who you love the most so that when you're not around, they too can have those three elements: money, knowledge, and power. But anyway, friends, grab an umbrella, somebody, get me out the rain.
Now I go back. I like what you said. I have a portrait of me and my youngest, Luke, when he was probably about if he was one, and we're reading the Bible. And I have, this is back when I used to be on Instagram, and I posted a photo and I said, just what you said, train up a child the way he should be, and he will never depart from it. I know earlier I wrote down after I had read the blog and was writing my notes, I had put, we are at where we're at in life because of the choices and the decisions that we've made. Again, we're at where we're at in life because of the choices and the decisions that we've made. So now go back to the title when we say your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. I agree. If we don't have those, if we don't have a plan, right? Because we always say those that fail to plan to fail, right? No one, very few of us have been able to make money by just going out there and we just scratched off a lottery ticket and won. We had to work for it. We had to earn it. We had to use the principles that we learned throughout life, right? Again, there was a blueprint. Somehow we all copycatted from someone and we imitated what they did and we put our own twist on it, right? Again, I'll say it again, as I've told my management, I'm not in it for the money right now. And again, you ask a question like how many of us have taken a job for the wrong reasons? I can second that. I've taken jobs for the wrong reasons, but I've also taken jobs for the right reasons. And I've taken less because when I was a single dad of two young men, I needed to make sure I was available. I sacrificed and I took lesser roles because my kids are only going to be kids once. So I wanted to give them what I didn't have, which was a male figure at the house consistently, not just there present wise, but present. There's one thing when you're there, but then you got to be there. A lot of people are there and they're really
Not really there.
not really there with their children, right? Like they're doing this and doing that. For me, it was the opposite because again, and I was talking to somebody about this today. I said, I think sometimes we tend to overcompensate for what we didn't have. But for me, I wanted to learn from what and not use it as an excuse, but use it as a good excuse and a reason to make sure I gave my children everything that I didn't have in the sense of not, let me back up, not everything. I wanted to give them as much as possible as I could within boundaries and limits within a structure, right? I didn't want to enable them, still wanted to teach them values and things to do. So I'm gonna sit back in the cut and let y'all talk.
My mom, when I was decided I want to go in the military, my mama never been in the military, so my mama couldn't tell me nothing about the military. My mama took me to a man named Mr. Benjamin, principal at junior high school. When we walked in the room, my mama was standing there and she was sitting there. Mr. Benjamin said, "You can leave now, Annie Reed." When my mama left, he took off his jacket. Now, we call him Mr. Benjamin, but he had a short name for Ben. I never met Ben until that day. Mr. Benjamin was my mama's friend, classmate, you know what I'm saying? We went to school, they did a lot of things together, but I never met Ben until that day. Ben started telling me about the military and what I need to do in the military and things about the military, things that I need to know that my mama didn't know, that my grandfather didn't know, that my people, that matter of fact, my daddy was in the military. He didn't talk about it because he went to Vietnam. So he mentored me and gave me some information that saved me plenty of time with my wayward ways, my ignorant ways. He saved me by that because he knew, because he'd been to the military. He knew the things I need to do to succeed in the military. That was the clue. So I'm saying, when you said the question about somebody leaving there, if you don't know, you don't know. And what hurt most people in poverty, in any situation, you just don't know. So that's what it's somebody coming out at 18 years old, never bought a car. They don't know how to buy a car. I didn't know how to buy a car. I just happened to have a car. I didn't know what the interest rate was or nothing because I did not know. And guess what happened to me? I got screwed over because I did not know. That's what it is, because you don't know. The knowledge is that. The knowledge is that. So once you have the knowledge, and we right understand this, do some things. You don't have to go through no life hard And that were not knowing. Because see, we came through a time where people didn't know. Our parents didn't know. I came from a single mother. I came my dad. Both of them were struggling. They didn't know they were trying to survive. They were trying to take care of it. They didn't know. So when it came to me and I lost everything, and when you lose everything, like you said, that's when that debt and all that despair and disappointment hit you when you feel that you're not worth nothing. Because how did I get here? How did I get here on this sofa? How did I get here that I can't take care of my kids? I can't pay child support. I can't take care of myself. Now I go get a job, like you said, a job that I didn't want, but I knew the job that I needed to take care of my family now. But the job I did didn't pay enough money. So I had to get another job to take care of that money. And along the way, my kids came and lived with me, and I'm living in an area that I can't pay for. I mean, that is in a hood that's really poor. And so my son got to go to a school, a zip code where it's not so nice, as people say. Not so nice. And my son sleeping on the sofa that I got. I think my friend got on the trash can. I really think it did. We cleaned it off, wiped it off good, and put it and laid out. I said, listen to me, son. This is where it began right here. I'm sitting there crying. I say, look, Dad, sorry. I said, I promise you, you give me some time. You're going to have your own room. I start telling him all these things you're going to have. You have this and that. I just need you to work with me. Give me some time. I told my wife, I'm going to get you this and this and that. And all that requires money. But how do I get that from the state that I'm in? How do I learn? Because I had nothing else, but all I knew was to get a job. All I knew was to go to work. I didn't know how the money, all I knew was to pay bills. I knew nothing beyond that. And I started putting my head down, getting fired, that was a job, trying to overcome this, trying to win. I'm stressed out. My mama couldn't help me. My daddy couldn't help me. And guess what? The people that I was wrong in that area, they couldn't help me. But lo and behold, I'm going to say that, lo and behold, I see a man on TV talking about, you deserve a home. Me? Yes, you. You can get a home. Now, nobody told me I can get a home but that man on that TV. And I didn't even believe that I could. And I kept denying it. And I told my wife, I said, I keep seeing this dude. And she said, well, Keith, why don't you go? I ain't have enough courage to call. She had to tell me, why don't you call the man and ask him? You know why I ain't called him? Because I didn't want to hear his no. I didn't want to hear that truth. It's an amazing principle that I said I want. And my wife, we went there. And I met this man, Bob DeVille. I met this lady named Maria. Even when Maria told me that, you can get a house, I denied her. Then I met Dustin. When I'm going to my house, Dustin tell me about stuff. I get mad. My ignorant ways went off, about to mess it up. But lo and behold, I did get the house. Lo and behold, I started putting myself around some people that started telling me some things. Some successful people that got clues that were successful, telling me, even though I looked like I didn't belong there. If you looked at me, I didn't belong there. But some people were seeing something, telling me something. Things that I wasn't hearing when I was in that poverty area, when I was over there. My son running home from school because some people jumping on him because he can't tell. I'm driving off my apartments and I see a whole street. He got out there prostitutes walking down the strip on there. That's where I was at. And I'm trying to figure out how I get out of here. It took a lot of discipline. It took a lot of commitment. It took me now being responsible. Now it took me, I got to save my money. I got to do something different. I can't go waste this. Now, see, what kicked in was my grandmother telling me, boy, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Yes, somebody in poverty, yes, somebody older can tell me some things to give me a foundation. But when it came to getting out of that situation, you see that other people came, other things. I had to find something inside of me. But when I learned about money in my late 30s, late 40s, it was wrong people that had money. It was wrong people that had money, that knew what money was used for. And they taught me how to use my money. I didn't know how to buy no money before that day, before that time. I knew how to spend it. I knew how to survive on it. But I didn't really know how to thrive on it. So that's what I talk to blind truth. I want to tell people, I said all the time, I don't want no young man to walk out the door like I walked out the door. Walk out there with struggle. and fight. And then we sit there and look at him. I don't know why he ain't making it. I gave him everything he needed when he was with me. But what about when he out there with you? That's all I'm saying.
Ladiana left a really good comment. I want to
Yes, she
share with
did.
you.
Yes,
I
she
want to
did.
share with the community. She said, I think my thoughts consist of just doing what I can do for my daughter and giving them the game. Parenting coming with encouraging our babies to do better than mommy. That's pretty good. Ladiana, thank you very much for that comment that you shared with us. So honest. All right.
And then she circled back, and so she also put, making mistakes in my life helps me give my child the blueprint of what to do and what not to do, and how to handle stuff. I didn't ever
Yes.
want them to endure my struggles. Amen on that. I like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Tatiana. Thanks for being
Well,
transparent. As your pop says, thank you for just coming on here and just revealing, right? So yeah.
Let me give a moment for Ladiana too. I'm always talking about the money. As Ladiana came up and made mistakes in her life, like you say, made mistakes in her life and jobs. And we had a conversation one day. She called me and she was transitioning from a job. She lost her job, getting another job. And I was talking to her because we always talk about money. And I was like, well, baby, you got your emergency fund. Yeah, Dad, I got that. I got this. I'm gonna get unemployment. I'm gonna have this and this and that. She said, well, Dad, I got my 401k. And I said, oh yeah, oh wow. I said, well, how much mind to tell me how much and I'm not gonna say, but when she told me how much she had, it was amazing to me. It's amazing that she was responsible. And
she actually heard you when you was teaching.
I did what I'm telling you. Know what I'm saying? She did it. But let me show you this next phase. What I said when she did it, and I was telling her, I said, now, Ladonna, you got to do this and do that. You got to do this. I say, see, well, Daddy, I know. I say, but look what the Most High got somebody. Now they can take you to the next phase. Somebody in poverty couldn't tell Ladonna to say, now go do this with this and break it down like this to make it be this. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't mean, what am I saying? It wouldn't mean, I can't say, call me your brother, your uncle, because I can tell you, but your uncle going to tell you more. Besides, he have more patience than daddy. So have the ability to do that. Somebody that's in poverty, somebody that's struggling, somebody just holding on to something, as Vince know, when you doing this trading or whatever, you got to have a faith base. You got a faith to say, I'm putting something in something and I believe it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? So when she did that, and she trusts what I said, it ain't fake. And I told her, I said, you accidentally. This how easy this is when I'm saying it. You accidentally did this. You didn't say, hey, I gotta buy this fund, I gotta do this, I gotta do. You just put your money in there and the thing and said, and look what it gave you. Now imagine what's gonna happen when you know what you're doing now. Imagine how powerful you're gonna be when you know what you're doing now. Imagine how powerful you're gonna be when you want to leave your daughter something. Just like you just said, I want to be able to have something for my daughter. Once you fill your cup up and fill it up, now your cup going to overflow. You have a better life, a better way to overflow into your children. That's what it's about right there. It ain't about the money. It may think money solve all things. That's just things, but it's the thing to put you in that position for a better life for her and her child.
Friends, if this is your first time checking out world premiere Word on the Streets, don't let it be your last. And you can easily fix that. We'll tell you how. All you have to do is subscribe. Once you subscribe, you will be notified every time we go live. So therefore, you would never miss an episode live. We would love for you to do that. And more importantly, friends, we would love for you to leave a comment. Let us know what topics you would like for us to discuss moving forward, or just leave us a comment and let us know whether you enjoying the show or not. We'll love to hear from you all. Now we're going to resume back to our program. And we're talking about discipline. And this thing with money, friends, this is just so important. I gotta say this. For whatever reason, it seemed that money was yesterday, but even more so today, brothers. It's still a very touchy subject. It's an uncomfortable conversation, and I think it's that way because there's just some things inside of us that are just unsettling. And I'm beating the same drum as I've always beat. It's just my mantra, friends. We got to work on ourselves. We gotta get the knowledge. You're not if you're someone out there listening, check it out, friends. I promise you. You're not too old and you're not too late to learn how to make money work in your favor, in your behalf. You're not too late. If you here, you're not too late. You're not too late to better educate yourself on what subject out there, to get better understanding about AI. It's not too late to reinvent yourself, to get more knowledge in whatever industry, whatever you have your mind on. In fact, this is the time today. The opportunity is today for you to do what you've always wanted to do. I know you're working. I know you got to come home. You got to cook dinner. You got to do it all. You got to do all those things for everybody else. You also, check it out, friend, make yourself a priority. Yeah, I said it. Make yourself a priority. Start out by giving yourself 1 hour. What if you could pick something you really, really wanted to do? What would happen if you gave time to yourself 1 hour every day? In a year from now, how, just think about the growth. And the thing about growth, I've learned this recently being on this platform. I can tell you firsthand. You can't see down the street standing on the corner. You can't see what things will grow and just grow as you drive down the streets. You will notice things you never knew was there before. You will learn things and technique that you never thought you. I mean, I can't even put it in words how magnificent life will unfold for you. So before you pay it forward to everybody else, which is great, pay it forward to yourself. Somebody, y'all know my thing. Grab me an umbrella. Let me get out this rain and talk back
I
to
just
you.
want to say this right quick. We not having a money conversation. When you start talking about money, you start talking about percentages. You start talking about budget. It's not a money conversation.
That's right.
Then it was about discipline, principle, and ways. It wasn't about money. So
Well said, brother. I
that
appreciate
wasn't
that.
a money conversation. I'm telling you, because we didn't start talking about money, we'd have had to start talking about figures and numbers and things like that. So that was not a money conversation.
That's right. It's about personal development. That's exactly right.
Exactly right.
Exactly right. And I love that word. I gotta tell you, Fletcher and Vincent, you know the thing that did it for me and that do it for me almost every day of my life? It's personal. Because when you make things personal, it have a different effect on you than just something passing by. It become personal. And when it become personable to you, you almost have to do something about it. You know, in the old days, when someone talked about your mama, that was personal. That was a fight because it was personal, man. And when things become personal, it affects you. What you say, Vincent?
Oh man, I'm responding to Latiana, man. I'm proud of her. Like I've seen the growth, uh, and I can continue to see it here. I was just kind of responding back because I was just saying,
Ladiana.
let me see. I just basically said, thank you for sharing and being transparent. I said, I know it can be scary because we think people judge. I said, but squash that. I said, someone needed to hear it. So, and I know it can be scary, but again, just, I appreciate the vulnerability because again, this goes out in the atmosphere, right? People are going to be able to play this back over and over and over. And this when we get the participation, right? Like me, Keith, and Larry, we're a little passionate in some of those areas, right? But all answers can be right, right? There's no wrong answer to it. It's just we have to use what's best for us, right? There is no right or wrong way to do it. It's just it's kind of like a buffet here, right? We get what we want, we come back and we eat it. Or as we saw, grandma used to put those rolls in her pocket and take home for later. So
And you know what, friends? Word on the street community. I know none of you guys did either. I didn't even realize it's almost 9 o'clock.
It is.
So yeah, it's about 10 minutes to 9. Wow. So man, we really had a great
Let me
time.
say this last thing and before you go. So now you cut off.
Go right ahead, brother. That's why I threw it out there.
I'm
So
about to get out. Me and Vince know each other personally. Let me show you how I know what I'm saying and what he's saying. We saying the same thing. Vince's son Luke came by my house yesterday. I'm talking to him, and we're talking about this stuff, getting this stuff together and money. And I told something to Luke, and he said, "Mr. Keith, my dad said the exact same thing." I said, "I know, exact same thing. What I said to him, his daddy said to him, and the same thing." And so we saying the same thing. We
Yeah.
just in our own way. He got his way of doing things, but at the end of the day, we saying the same thing.
Correct.
yeah,
That's it. That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't argue. We wouldn't having the money. We wouldn't talk about money. We're talking about ways. We have different ways of doing things. It's a way. He have a way. I'm not saying this way is wrong. I have a way. He have a way. Different experience. Extraordinaire have a way.
yeah. They both like I said was a wealth of information that everybody was able to feed off. So
But these things, like
yeah,
even a discussion, the thing is having the discussion.
that's
Being
right.
open to have the discussion and being okay if we did have some differences in it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay to have. But if having a discussion,
absolutely,
yeah, that's what it is.
absolutely.
If my son went to Vince's house, Vince can talk to my son. I'm not gonna say, man, you better not be listening. He gonna be able to talk to my son and give him a word to him. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So I don't want nobody to take that like, oh man, they would no.
No, it wasn't that.
It
No,
wasn't that.
no, no.
It wasn't that at all. We both me and Vince came from single mothers. You know what I'm saying? And we basically got the same type of raising and everything. And came and nothing to say nothing against single mother. You know, it was tough. You know what I'm saying? It was tough. But I understand what Vince said, and he understand what I'm saying. But he have a way, I have a way. But get us to the same destination. That's what it's going to be. That's it.
No, I appreciate him saying that because again, I think we're at the point in our lives now where we're not arguing. We're
No,
basically trying to see how the other person thinks.
that's it.
Like, and I think if we can teach that to the younger people to understand, hey, it's okay to have. There's a such thing as good conflict, right? Even when your parents argue, like our parents may have yelled and screamed, right? It lessens and lessens with each generation, right? So the object is I don't want my kids to think everything's perfect between me and mom, because it's not,
It's
right?
not.
You got to see us go through it. You got to see us work it out. You got to see us talk it out and come back together, right? So it's that's what happened tonight. Like there's different ways that Keith says it that I say it, right? Keith's not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. Larry's not for everybody. You got to find what fits for you and then use it.
And that's why we all three on here, because we got different ways.
We all got
Exactly.
We're not, what you saw right then showed you right then the truth. We all have different opinions, different ways. And guess what? We'll be back again on Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So,
And friends, take this with y'all tonight. Your life is in debt because your discipline is in debt. Fix that discipline problem, friends, and we will see y'all next Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Good night, everybody,
Have a good
and
night.
happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful, lovely
Mother's Day,
mothers.
Ladiana and Selena.
yeah, happy Mother's Day, Nina Ladiana.
And that wraps up another powerful episode of world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'd love to have you join us again. So take a moment to subscribe, tap that like button, and become part of this growing community. Until next time, guard your thoughts, speak only what you truly want to experience, and stay laser focused on what matters. Your words shape your world, and your mindset fuels your mission. We'll see you again. Same time, same place. Right here on World Premiere Word on the Streets, where truth meets transformation. Stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, stay true.